In fact, the Yankees start their ALDS tomorrow night. That series with the Twins at the stadium. And for a lot of people, while the Mets are looking for a new manager, the Yankees have their guy. Except for a lot of people, New York is just a team that's got a loaded lineup that just steamrolls their way into the postseason, and they're on autopilot. A lot of people see it that way, but people who don't understand baseball, or people who are not taking the time to look at it, or people who just do not want to give them credit because of who they are. I mean, sure, they've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of talent, but they've had a ton of injuries. A record 39 trips to the injured list this year. And yet they still won 103 games. They still won that division by 7 games. I mean, yes, some of that's a testament to their depth. Some of that is a testament to the moves that Brian Cashman's made. But a lot of that is how Aaron Boone handles that clubhouse and how he runs that thing. I mean, there seems to be this perception that he's just a guy, just a nice guy, just a guy with a famous last name who is a pretty good player, just a guy who shows up and writes down a bunch of names on a lineup card and then waits for further instruction from the front office. Yeah, I'm not so sure that's all there is to it. I'm not so sure it's that easy. I'm not so sure you win 100 games in your first season as an MLB manager, and then you win 103 in your second season, and you do it on that stage in that town. And it's as easy as just showing up and filling up a lineup card. I'm thinking if you can do those things, you must be doing something right. And if you can do those things in the most pressure-packed job in all of baseball, then it might be a sign that you know what you're doing. It might be a sign that you've got a way of connecting with the players. It might be a sign that you're really good at the job, even though you've never done the job. I guess what I'm saying is, can you give the guy some bleeping credit? I mean, for real. And he finally got some. He got some credit in the form of the ESPN treatment from Jeff Passan. Now, check that. The Jeff Passan treatment. He got the Passan treatment. And you know, if Passan is going to spend some time and do a profile on you, some good stuff is going to emerge. And it did. Like the fact that Boone's nightly ritual is to get home, rewatch the game that he just managed, and then watch Friends on Netflix to help him fall asleep. Or the fact that he can't even get respect in his own household. When a friend asked Boone's son, Brandon, what he thought about the old man interviewing with the Yankees, Brandon did not think that was a good idea. Brandon said, quote, horrible idea. My dad has coached 1 year of flag football. The Yankees? He'll be gone within a year. End quote. That's your own son pointing at your record as a head coach of a flag football team and saying that you interviewing for the most prestigious managerial job in baseball is, quote, a horrible idea. You're getting that from your own kid. Well, and then you're going to get canned after 1 year as manager. Brandon Boone going all sports radio caller on Aaron Boone. Pretty wild. Almost as wild as the revelation that Boone had to work really, really hard to eliminate cursing from his vocabulary before he became a manager. Like he busted his ass, busted his rump to eliminate cursing. But then he got that job. And, well, he couldn't stop. He started again. He quit cursing, took that job, and then gave the world this amazing rant. The best part of that rant wasn't the bleeping savages line, where my guys are bleeping savages. It was him telling the young ump to get his act together. He said, quote, you're having a piece of bleep start to this game. I feel bad for you, but bleeping get better. It's an amazing thing to say to an umpire. You're having a bleeping bad start. You're having a piece of bleep start to this game. I feel bad for you, but bleeping get better. Man, that is perfect. That is so glorious and something everybody should take to heart. I don't care how you started things out at work or in school or whatever it is you're doing today. Bleeping get better. I said it then, I'll say it again right now. Calling something or someone, quote, a savage is like the least cool thing you could ever do. It's the most tired thing ever. It's the Toledo broadcaster way of trying to sound cool or trying to sound hip. But Boone did the impossible. He managed to actually inject a little life into that tired, played-out term. And that became part of his Yankees team's identity. No wonder they reportedly have new nameplates on their lockers which read 2019 Division Series October Savages. In other words, more than 2 months later, his guys are still fired up by that rant. In a world where news stories vanish in seconds, nothing lasts more than a day or so, that tells you something. It says something. Now, just because Boone's done a great job in the regular season does not guarantee them a trip to the World Series. Doesn't even guarantee them a trip out of the ALDS. Their starting pitching is a mess. They're facing a Twins team that can absolutely bomb. And if they get past Minnesota, then they have to deal with Houston. Boone knows this. And he knows that if he doesn't get it done, then none of it will matter. None of the regular season, doesn't matter how many games they won, how many injuries they had, none of it will matter. None of that will be remembered. Nobody will care about 39 injuries. Nobody will care that he cobbled together lineups of minor leaguers and cast-offs and brilliantly won 103 games. All they'll remember is he didn't win a World Series. And they probably will blame him if they don't win number 28. But he knows that. He knows he signed up for that. But to me, and the point of this take, it doesn't mean the guy does not deserve credit for what he's done, because he does. So give it to him. I mean, for real.
You give them some credit. I mean, for real.
Regardless of what happens against the Twins, regardless of if they advance and get to the ALCS and come up short, man, give this guy credit. What a great hire. What a great manager. Aaron freaking Boone if you need him. And I love that Friends is still a big hit inside their clubhouse, or at least inside his house. I wonder if his favorite character is Joey.